Start your day just right. Welcome to Mornings Together with Rob, Mon, and Bernie.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hello. Welcome to this fine Wednesday morning. Darren Porter got in first today. There you go. Good morning, Darren.
Darren,
Closely
on fire.
followed by Georgia. So there you go. So there's our top two. Michaela Geary's congratulating you, Darren. You smashed it. There you go. So morning and welcome, everyone. It's great to have you with us on, what is it? It's kind of a bleak May the 13th. I want to do a shout out to my sister this morning. It is her birthday today. I know she probably won't listen to this today, but that's okay. I'm still wishing her a happy birthday because, you know, sending the good vibes out, which is great. Who else is saying hello?
Brother.
Yeah. Graham Randall. It's 9 o'clock. Happy Wednesday, guys, from Mr. Graham Randall.
Nice.
And Hannah's saying, I just started watching yesterday's episode, and then I realized I'd already seen it. So,
I love it, Annie.
I like that.
I love it.
That's a whole other level of commitment. I like that a lot. Rob, Mon, how are you on this fine morning? This fine Wednesday morning?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, happy to be here. Was excited to see you guys and to connect with everybody. But yeah, it's a great morning. Yeah.
It is.
What about you, Rob?
And it's a bit of a strange one because you're starting to think about going back to office and doing things differently, and we're actually considering as a Mornings Together team what this looks like in the future. We're still looking for some good encouragement there. So let you know.
The general thing I'm receiving is that we should keep it going, which is cool. We had an email come through from Vicky Fry yesterday saying that, hey, please keep going. I really enjoy it, but if I could have one selfish consideration, could you move the start time to 9:30? Because then after I've dropped the kids off, I can watch you live. So you know, all these things are important to hear from you and to
it is.
Take it all on board.
Your feedback.
We do want to let you know, though, we're going to be carrying on in the same format for the next 2 weeks at least. All right, so we've got 2 more weeks doing it like this. Our location might change as per the beginning of next week, but in terms of the way we're doing things with us three together with guests and things, we're going to be pressing on with it for the next 2 weeks. So you can rest easy. You know, that thing is going to be somewhat the same as we transition back into level 2. Who else have we got with us this morning? We've got Louise Douglas. Good morning, Louise. Thank you for joining us. Glad you could join us on your Wednesday mornings off.
Yeah.
So the Curry family is with us this morning. Good morning, Curry.
Here we go.
It's great to have you. Crystal Turner from the Turner family, who were on yesterday. Great to have you with us.
Crystal.
You guys were fantastic yesterday, by the way. Such a great interview.
Very good.
I know.
And Tony is with us as well. Tony and Sharon, great to have you guys as well. Oh, that's so nice. I feel like we arrive like virtually at this like virtual campfire, and like all our friends are there.
Exactly.
And like, but it's just like floating heads with comments underneath it, kind of thing. You know, it's bizarre,
it is.
But
We're
like
having a kumbaya moment around a campfire with our community.
I want to ask the viewers who yesterday went online and booked themselves in for a haircut. All right, so I went online and I tried to book myself in, and it's booked out for 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
It's just like, I think I'll get. No, I won't. I'll find somewhere else.
So if you're out there right now and you're like, I think I could watch enough YouTube clips to learn how to cut hair. Now's your time. You know, there is demand for some good haircuts. At the moment, you could do buzz cut specials like Craig Vernal. If you're watching this, open up your barbershop, man. It'd be great to get those going as well.
I know. It's a great. I'm so thankful that I've got a standing appointment. Like, you know, it's booked months in advance. It's like, thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
it hadn't been cancelled.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Carol's got a hair appointment tomorrow, says Graham. So there you go. So it's some people are getting in.
That is impressive.
Tina Porter's hairdresser called her to see if she wanted to make an appointment.
Wow.
I love this hair chat. This has been great.
It's everything, man. I'm telling you.
And Michaela booked a haircut in weeks ago, so she got in ahead of the game. Oh yeah, so Darren was just saying as well, after yesterday's thing, we talked about the Turners songs and stuff like that. We can't release the Turners song publicly until they win the competition. It doesn't say win in his comment, but until they win. So you'll have to wait till the end of the competition to hear that. But you can just go back and rewatch the episode from yesterday, and you get to hear a little piece of it again and again, as much as you want to. Rob, just continuing on the hair chat, which somehow we've got stuck on this morning. Graham Randall just says, "Hey mate, your hair looks slick still." So there you go.
You didn't have any hours. It takes me, bro. This is thick, moldy black hair that doesn't want to do what it's told. I'm up there with Monica in terms of vanity of hair, so most people know. But not having a haircut for 8 weeks is like,
Kyle is saying that Kalisha's hair gets done tomorrow at 9:30, and I guess the follow-on question is, Kyle, when does your hair get done? Is that tomorrow as well?
Come on. Who's your stylist, Kyle? Come on.
Love the haircut banter. This is
all right. I think we need to pivot on from things. So,
nice.
So we are at. I just heard my wife laughing from upstairs, so she's obviously watching right now as well. So we are at episode 32. We have had a huge range of guests. Some of the guests we've had on a couple of times because they're fan favorites, and today is another fan favorite that we have with us today. I want to ask you, Mon Rob, who have been some of your standout guests that we've had on the show? The ones you've kind of gleaned a lot from in the last few weeks of this, and then also listeners, if you're you chuck your people that you've enjoyed the most in there as well, that'd be great. Absolutely. Mon, you kick us off first.
I love our guest today. I have loved, and I don't want to give that away, but I love this person and totally respect them and what they're going to bring, and what they brought early on is absolutely incredible. So I'm real excited about our guest today. I loved having Charles Hewlett as well. Just the humility from him that was pretty amazing. And I loved yesterday. I loved the Turner family. And I think, like I said to you guys, watching this family dynamic between them and this collaboration, it's so beautiful to watch and to see their heart for God and real, and the creativeness that can come from when you're synced as a family. It's amazing. So I really love them and what they bring to our church. So I've loved that, but I've loved everybody who's been on. We've been so blessed. Hey, like you said, Bernie, we've had bangers, man. We've had bangers and guests every time.
We're very lucky, and for me, it's been a bunch of our staff team. I loved having Eric and having Craig's regular word, having all of our different personalities come through. It keeps the family vibe alive there. I really enjoyed having Trudy on, having someone who's wrestling with what she's wrestling with whilst being on the front lines. So all of these different people that bring perspective about what the world is like at the moment, I think it's just awesome.
I can't agree more. Like every single guest I've found has been a banger. I've really appreciated the fact that they've given up their time to be with us, that they've brought their heart into this. On a personal note, I've enjoyed catching up with a few friends of mine while we've been able to do this. Of course, my mum, and then also Ben Pierce last Monday. It was so good to be able to chat to that guy for 45 minutes and everything. Because I don't get to see him that much at all. James Hanna. Just the light that he brought when he was on with us, and the music and the fun that he had. But every single guest has brought something that I've taken away, and I think I'm changed because of each and every single one of our guests. And so to all our guests who may be listening or watching, whatever point, thank you for being on at some point, and thank you for coming back again, hopefully as well in the future as well as we continue on, because we want to hear from you again and again, because you just got such good stuff to share. But
I love it. Yeah. Every guest has brought themselves. Do you know what I mean? To the table. And it's just been so nice to have this stripped back version of everyone, and you get to see behind the scenes. And I think it wasn't you, Rob, or Bernie, you said we get to see in people's kitchens and lounges, and it's so intimate. It's amazing. Yeah.
I think one of the big things too is that you get something that we didn't expect. I mean, we send people questions and we sort of try to preempt some of the stuff, but we get so much more than we ever expected. So it's been cool having all that.
That's been the gold nugget. Yeah, and the whole thing. You get more. Yeah.
It really has. So we're just jumping over to the comments just to hear from people about their favorite guests so far. Michaela Gary says that the Gary family, of course, were awesome, and they were.
I love them.
Love it.
Mandy gives a shout out for Eric, and Eric replied by saying, "Mandy, your check is in the mail." So there you go. Darren Porter does another shout out for the Gary family. Louise Douglas, Bernie's mum, my mum, and Mon's daughter were both excellent in different ways.
So
nice.
Georgia says so many favorites. Jordan and Luke were great. Eric had so many great tips. Trudy was incredible, and Ben Pierce was outstanding. Everybody, to be honest. And here we go again. Michaela Gary, love Ben Pierce and Eric. Not so sure about that Fryatt guy though. We agree.
We agree. I don't know about that Fryatt guy. It's too famous for us, eh?
Yeah, he's way too famous now for us. Hey, Caleb, he's way too famous.
Lee Willis is saying that I so appreciated Luke Carl Morgan and his daughter and Monica's daughter as well.
Nice.
And Eric again just saying that Luke and Jordan's way out was sublime. So we have had a huge range of guests. Like I was reading the list before, and I'll read it again quickly. So we have had, this is so you know you can go back and listen to these episodes. We've had our executive pastor Kyle Fleischman. We've had our music director Darren Porter. We have had Golden Sands pastor Colin Grutzmacher, BBC Care pastor Eric Schilperut, Craig Vernal, senior pastor of Bethlehem Baptist Church, Caleb Fryatt from Above and Beyond, but also General Funday Fryatt, Linnea Gould, one of the elders from BBC, Naomi Cowan, my mum, but also CEO of Equip Mental Health Trust up in Auckland, Noah and Wendy Schneider from Steiger, New Zealand, missionaries and living in Wellington. We've had Michael Brown and Bailey Brown, as well as the Stubbing family. We've had Cherie DeBeth, who is a counsellor here in the Bay. Mallory Carey, of course, Monica's daughter, who works at the project. And Dave Andrews, one of our elders as well, but also someone who's involved in lots of business stuff.
Yeah.
James Hanna, lead guitarist from Late 80s Mercedes, but also he's a teacher at Dilworth School in Auckland. Charles Hewlett, leader of the Baptist Union. Clinton Tracy Harris, former lead singer of Late 80s Mercedes, but both early childhood educators. Campbell Hill from Good Neighbor. Captain David Julian, a chaplain.
That was amazing.
Living in the military down in Christchurch. Nigel Gregory from Brookfield Pharmacy. Thank you, Mon. Trudy Cantwell, a police officer in our local force. Ben Pierce from Steiger International from Come and Live. The Gary family, who have come to BBC. We had Stu from Cool Bananas, Mr. Stu. Luke Morgan, who was here on Monday. And then, of course, the Turner family, who were part of our community. It was huge range of people.
What?
Wow.
Oh, so good, man.
So many fantastic guests in such a short amount of time. It's been so good. All right. Well, on that note, in terms of around guests and things like that, we want to do something a little bit special on Friday. We've tried it before. It didn't go so well, but I've done a bit more work on it, and so it should be good this week. This Friday, we have a regular guest, but we're also wanting to open it up to you, the listener. We are doing on Feel Good Friday this week. We're going to do kind of like a bit of a soapbox element, where we're going to bring you on live for a few minutes, and you can share maybe a highlight from the show or something you've learned during lockdown. We'll celebrate with you, and then we'll give you the gentle push back out of the studio and back into the real world again. So let us know if you want to be part of that on this Friday. We're going to dedicate some time to that, just because, we get to see the comments and things like that, but we can actually bring you in live and actually get to see you, see into your kitchen, just like you can see into my kitchen. Fun fact, we actually remove the tea towels from the oven every morning so that you guys don't see those. Just a little bit of a behind the scenes note, peek behind the curtain kind of thing. But yeah, so if you're keen for that, you can send us an email to stories@Bethlehem, and we will figure out a way of getting you on. It's pretty easy from my end, but just making sure we can get you on. But fire those through. Love to have you on. Love to celebrate with you as we continue into the future.
Indeed.
Oh, good. All right, we're gonna transition things now. Flavor Rob, hit us with your flavor tip today.
Man, it's gone out of my mind. I was just like, man, we're in this banter. It's just so good. All right.
The banter was deep. We've crossed it. What was the line again? The Nigel line? No, the Bruce line. We crossed the Bruce line.
It's the Bruce line.
Yeah.
Well, very good. So this morning, one of my things I realized is that I actually haven't talked about fish much, all right, and seafood. Now, seafood is an acquired taste. There are so many people who are just divided on seafood, but I love seafood. It's the Māori boy in me who loves seafood. But I thought I'd just do something simple for at home, and that's how to do a nice fillet of fish, okay? Something very simple you can all get from the supermarket, a very nice white fish, and just to be able to cook that well. Now, often what people will do is, I've talked about inattentive cooking. People just want to slap it on the oven, come back, take it off, put it on a plate. Fish takes a little bit of attention, okay? And so one of the key things about fish, why they batter it, is because they want to protect it, because it's actually quite a delicate meat, okay? So it'll fall to pieces very quickly, and you want to do it very quickly in the pan. So you just want to get it just cooked through. So I thought one of the best things that you can do is take those fillets. You want to dab it dry, okay, with some towel, and then you want to just sprinkle salt and pepper as we always do, and I want you to create a seasoned flour. Okay, just get some flour, put some oregano flakes, put something in there. Chicken salt, I don't know, whatever you want in there, and you just want to dab that fish in that, and then you want to lightly fry it, okay? And you just want a thin layer of butter. You don't want oil, okay? You go butter. Butter is always better. Let's just say that straight out. Butter is always better. So that's a real simple way. Just pat it with that, put it in the pan, and cook it till it's just cooked. And you'll know because you can just touch it, and you'll see the white flesh going right through, and you flip it over. So always start with the skin side down, okay? Skin side down. Now the other thing is, you can batter fish, and what you'll need for that is a constant temperature oil. Okay, so the batter can be something as simple as you create a pancake batter or a waffle batter without the sugar. Dip your fish in that and put it into at least 145 to 160 degree oil, okay, and that just crisps it. It doesn't burn it. It doesn't overcook it. All right. And so the best way to do that, if you do not have a deep fryer, is an electric fry pan, because you can set the temperature on an electric fry pan to 140 to 150. You want it to be around there. Use good oil for that. Rice bran oil is always my favorite. But I also want to give you something to go with that fish. All right. So a nice tartare sauce. Tartare sauce is very easy to make, okay? So you can put that fish on burgers. You can have it just by itself. Have it with duck fat chips. We'll do chips another time, but they're real simple. Fish tacos. There you go. Yeah, there's the American. Everything in a taco basically is. So you want to get food, mayonnaise. Yeah,
fish tacos. Yeah, so good. Yeah.
So the best food mayonnaise is my favorite. Okay, it's got a blue top, light blue top. It's an American mayonnaise. There you go. But it's just good gelatinous mayonnaise, and you want to put in there a handful of capers. Okay, some of you don't know what capers are. That's your salty. Okay, salty capers. You want to chop them up roughly. Put that in. You want to get gherkins or pickles. Okay, chop them up roughly. Put that in. Salt and pepper, of course, and then the zest and the juice of 1 lemon. Give that puppy a whisk up, and then add a little bit of wine vinegar. Okay, amen. Fish tacos. But this recipe would work with that. Okay, so that's your tartare sauce. It'll last in the fridge for who knows, like probably a couple of weeks. So it's worth making up. So you maybe 4 tablespoons of mayo, handful of capers and gherkins, and the juice of 1 lemon. You got it, salt and pepper. Happy days. Yes, Mandy, you can put chopped chili in there. I can see that. If you like it spicy, but that's a simple tartare sauce to go with your fish. Try out some fish this week. You'll be blessed by it. There you go.
So good.
Yeah.
Flavor Rob.
Let's Flavor Rob for today.
Yeah, right on, Flavor Rob. Are you a fisherman, Flavor Rob?
I do enjoy fishing, yes. I have a lot of people who like to go fishing, but actually what they do is boating because we don't catch any fish. So I'm still waiting for Dave Andrew to take me fishing because apparently he talks a big game about fishing. So I'm still waiting, Dave Andrew.
Pedro might have to. Inez. So,
Pedro, come on, my man. Let's go.
Michaela Gary just chimed in while you were sharing, Robert, that she has been drooling over her new cookbook this morning. Of course, Michaela Gary. Belinda won the Mother's Day competition yesterday, but she gave the cookbook to Michaela, and Michaela's been drooling over that this morning.
So good.
Which is good. What I realized, Rob, is while you're saying that is, because some people might think of a filet of fish as just the sandwich from McDonald's.
That's right.
Come on.
And like as someone who we made our own burgers last night, it's like it doesn't take much to actually be able to create really great things at home to save you having to go down the road to the Golden Arches or to K-Fry or something like that. And we've found like it's been cheaper and more filling and more delicious. And so just encourage you guys. I know it sounds like a bit of work what Rob was suggesting, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah. Homemade burger is the best. It really is. Yeah. So good.
All right, we have gone deep into the banter this morning. We are running way out of time. I think it's about time I'll do some quick housekeeping stuff, and then we're going to bring on our guest this morning. So we say it every day, but it's important to us. So share your stories with us, stories@bethlehem.org.nz. If you need help during this time as we go into level 2 and all the anxiety and pressures and things that it might mean, whether it be interacting with other people, Care team is here for you, care@bethlehem.org.nz. Or you can give them a call on 075762344. Letting you know that from next week, there will be more staff at the church building. But but there'll be some precautions and stuff around that will be announced later this week. But just letting you know that the building is going to be a bit more accessible from next week. If you need a prayer request, you can fire that through using the text code. So use keyword BBC prayer, sending it through to 4040. Love praying for you. Love standing with you in prayer. You can also, through the BBC website, send it via email format as well. But please continue to send those through. Every day after we're done here, the audio from the episode gets processed and put out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thank you to all those who are listening to us later in the day. It is great to have you with us, though you can't be here with us live at 9. To have you in our, still in our virtual campfire moving forward, even if it's later in the day. It's great to have you coming together and listening to this stuff. But please like and subscribe on those wherever you can find the podcast. It'd be great to keep that going as we move forward. So this morning, our guest is my mum. She's back.
Yeah, Naomi.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Naomi Cowan, CEO of Equip in Auckland. She is a fan favorite on the show this morning. Good morning, Naomi. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. Kia ora kato.
Yeah. And happy Mother's Day again for the weekend. I was lovely to.
Thank you very much.
Mum's request this year was that we all jump onto Jackbox TV and play some rounds of quiz and games and stuff on the weekend. So that was fun.
It's so much fun, isn't it?
Well, they could have let me win, just saying. But anyway.
It's hard. We're all very competitive in the Cowan household, so it was hard just to let Mum win. But Mum, why don't you let us know how things have been for you in your bubble since we last talked, which has been a few weeks now.
Yeah.
How have things been for you and at home, but also work life?
Well, at home, great. I'm a little bit sad to be coming out of level 3 and 4. I've been the designated shopper. So I've got that down to a fine art because I'm shopping for 3 different people. And I've done my 10,000 steps a day. I've had to plan that. That's been a mystery to me to learn that if you plan it, you actually do it.
Yeah.
So that's been good. And I've been journaling. So I've just kept it to 4 lines because that's about all I can concentrate on. But I just thought it'd be real interesting to look back in a year's time and see what was happening each day during lockdown. Work-wise, it's been flat out. One of our core values is if we can say yes, we will. And I guess I've learned in lockdown that saying yes takes a lot of time because you've got to figure out how to say yes and make it safe around doing some sort of intervention to support people face-to-face when it's required because we're an essential service. And collaboration's been the key, which has been great actually. In our sector, we've all just had to put aside whatever and get on and solve problems. I hope we never go back with it.
It was interesting you said the journal thing. This morning I felt prompted to, and I put this on my Facebook profile. If you're friends with me, you better see it. But it's just a short little video about how do we capture these thoughts and feelings we've had during this lockdown time so that they can come back. I'm not a very good journaler, and so for me, it's like doing it digitally is better because it's infinitely kept there. But using the hashtag my lockdown experience, there was an invitation out there to, if you want to capture your experiences of what you've been feeling and thinking, you can do it that way. It's just another alternative to the journal thing. This is a side tangent thing. If you want to get on there, you can. But if you don't, I don't mind. So if COVID-19 was a marathon, Mum, we're probably about 3/4 through, maybe. I would think we're coming up to that 3/4 point.
We're on the home stretch. It feels like,
or maybe we're on the final few bends before the home stretch. Maybe that's probably a better way of doing it. What can we do to motivate us to keep going as we head into the end game of things?
Yeah, good question. So I think keep the big picture in mind. And if you need reminders of that, just go on to Dr. John Campbell or someone like that on YouTube and just watch what's happening around the world.
Yeah.
And so, we may be through the worst of it, it seems, but gosh, the world isn't. And if you want to remember why we've had to go through this, just get a bigger picture again, but also get perspective. And I think remembering that just because we're coming to level 2 doesn't mean it's over. And I really think this is important. People do need to see this as a marathon, and I suspect we're not at the finish line. Sorry to burst anyone's bubble, but I think you'll be more relaxed about it if you take that long-term viewpoint. It is what it is at the moment. So at the moment, it's about to be level 2. Let's celebrate and enjoy our freedom. It could change again at any time. So I think we have to stay a little bit vigilant, not anxious, but a little bit vigilant and take a very long-term view. And remember, by looking wider, than our own country as to why we're doing this.
Oh man, it's so good. Yeah, exactly.
It is so important because I think, when we talked about this a bit last week in terms of people think level 2, we're going to rush into it kind of thing, but it's actually just another part of the bigger picture, the bigger run kind of thing. And, there's a much longer journey still ahead of us to go, until vaccines come out or, whatever kind of thing. Like they're predicting like levels like this not being back to full normal for like another 18 months just because of the fallout of borders being closed and what's going on in the international situation as well. So it is a long run still to go. So for a lot of us over the next week or so kind of thing, we're going to be re-entering a greater sense of normality in terms of more people are going to be going back to work, schools are going to be functioning again. What would be your tips to help us re-enter into things so that we, because I was thinking about an experience I had recently where I had my first outing in the midst of level 3 and I interacted with some other people and I felt anxious, I felt weird, I just wanted to get out of there as soon as I possibly could, and I realized that that's probably something that a lot of other people are going to be feeling as well as we go into level 2.
Yeah, so I think the first thing is exactly that, make it predictable. So there's a lot of things you can control with COVID. You can wash your hands regularly. You can wear gloves and no one will judge you for it. You can wear a mask and no one will judge you for it. So whatever makes you comfortable, plan for it and think about how am I going to handle this. If you're an employer, I think overdo the communication. We're spending a lot of time this week just helping our staff feel it's predictable and safe to come back to work and answering the what if questions, because we won't have thought of them all. So it's good that they're bringing them up. Secondly, I think live in the moment. So as you come into level 2, just enjoy whatever each day brings. Try and find something. So at the moment, when I walk along Long Bay Beach, I just try and stop thinking about work and I just enjoy it. And I don't know what's going to happen later today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I can enjoy the here and now. And that'll help me feel a bit more grounded. I think also as you return to level 2, just don't return to what was. You've learnt stuff while you've been in level 3 and 4. So, for example, in our youth service, we've found out that the boys communicate a lot more and engage a lot more through virtual contact than they ever did with someone side by side. So we're going to keep doing that. Doesn't mean we won't do any face-to-face, but what you've learnt, see how you can, that'll be a nice distraction for you. How can you embrace what you've learnt to rather than just go back to the old way, use that innovation. Also, I think the big thing is as you start interacting with people, and Chris Voss said this last week, leave your butts behind. So when you're with people, your perspective's your perspective and leave it there, park it there. So when someone else is sharing, don't try and be Pollyanna and say, oh, yes, but. Because the minute you say but, you've negated everything you've set up till then. So try and just engage with people where they're at and don't try to fix them. And that'll take a lot of frustration out of your life.
Yeah.
Because it's not your job to police other people or fix them.
Yeah.
I saw a great meme right at the start of COVID, Naomi, and it's Mr. Bean. Someone comes up to give him a hug, and he just pushes them in the face, pushes them back, and just shakes their hand or something like that. You know, that might be a key moment for people as they come back together. Is that right?
Yeah, I think plan your greetings. And I would say don't do this because that's where you're coughing into. So do the foot tap or whatever, but just make it really clear. I love you, but I'm not going to hug you. I'm not going to kiss you, and get that out there so you're not panicking about it.
Got to dodge a little bit.
Yeah.
Or
maybe
exactly. Eyebrow.
Rob, I'm hearing an avenue for some Mornings Together merch where it says "I love you, but don't hug me." T-shirts.
That's right.
Mornings Together down the side. Back off.
I love you, but no.
I love you, but back off.
That's right.
There we go.
Or hugs with the, no hugs.
No hugs.
Another thing, I think if you're worrying about certain things at level 2, make your list. What are these worst case scenarios? Okay, they exist. So what can you do to make them bearable? And that just takes the sting out of it a little bit.
It's great.
There was a Dr. Henry. It's like you'd write up every possible horrible
Might
thing
have been,
that is going to happen, and then that you dive into that for 10 minutes, and then you put it and you submit it to God and stuff like that, and you say, God, this is the stuff I'm worrying about.
Yeah, or your problem solve it.
Yeah, or your problem solve
How
it.
am I going to manage this if it really does happen?
Yeah. It's great.
I like when we had a staff chat, how one of them, I think it was Cheryl, who said, He said, we've been able to control us and how we have dealt with COVID. He says, but now we have to release control and trust other people that they're going to do their part. You know what I mean? Like, I can disinfect my hands. I'm hoping I have to lose control that you've done that too. It's trusting other people that they're doing what they're meant to be doing. That can cause anxiety. But like you said, I guess just doing what we can do and make it clear. Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess that whole social paranoia is going to be a real thing as well, isn't it? I guess as we come back into that, I know I'm doing something right, but what about other people?
Yeah.
What is the tip there? Just you can only look after yourself and hope for the best in other people. Would you say?
Well, to be honest, there's a lot. Yeah, and there's a lot you can do. So they can be misbehaving or doing whatever they like. But if you're regularly washing your hands, if you're not touching your face, it's pretty hard for that virus to get to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So just continue to do your part. Stay the course.
Yeah.
So good. Rob, something you like to mention a lot, and I think it ties into this conversation, is the spectrum that people operate in. Some people who have been really, hard up a bit against COVID stuff, and then those who have been pretty relaxed about it. And I think it ties into the discussion we just had about how we got to be kind to each other. We've got to try and see into each other's perspectives, whilst also knowing, like what Naomi was saying, that we can only fully control our own reactions to things. Yeah.
And we've got to be sensitive to if someone is, you talked about gloves and masks and that sort of thing. People will be like, they might roll their eyes a little bit like, oh, aren't we over that? It's that sensitivity to, if someone wants to be that way, that's all good. And we've got to respect that. The other thing is, if you're a hugger and someone doesn't want to hug you, suck it up. It's just, this is personal boundary stuff in this time, and it will change. And just be respectful.
Just be respectful, be kind. Yeah.
I guess I understand as well. A lot of us will be on a journey from A to B to C, and you might be at F already, and like it's going to take time for people to get to that point as well. Like people are going to come back from this in different paces, just like a marathon. You run it at different speeds.
That's right.
Now, Mum, during this season, what has God been speaking to you personally over the last few weeks? What are some of the things you've heard God say to you?
Well, it's been interesting with less distraction. I've kind of been on a theme around really accepting that even still at this geriatric age, I've kind of had a false self view of how God views me. And I feel like God's been leading me more to understand my true self. And that is that, God's love of me already makes me okay. He makes me worthy. And so every time you worry about how you look, your job, your friends, your status, all that stuff feeds into your false self. And I really feel like during this time, as things have been stripped away a little bit, God has said, you're enough because I'm in you. And when you have to face this challenge or this situation, I'm already here. You don't have to drum me up. You don't have to have angst about it. I'm in you. Let's do it together. Let's just get on with it. And it's been a very calming, a very soothing thing to be reflecting on. And I just think of Ephesians 3, verse 20, to him who by means of his mighty power within me can do more than you could ever dream of, more than you could ever hope for. To him be the glory. And that's very freeing when you really start to understand that.
Love it.
So good. I love it.
So good. Well, Naomi, I just want to thank you again. Well, Mum, thank you for coming on the show again today. It's always great to have you with us. It's one of these fun things. Me and Mum work on quite a few different things for the Global Leadership Network as well, and I always have to try and catch myself in terms of using the right greeting.
Mummy.
Mummy. So I just want to thank you again for being with us today. You've been incredibly busy over the last few weeks as an essential worker, leading your team, caring for people in the community up in Auckland. So, and speaking into the conversation regularly, I know for Windsor Park, but also into other places as well. So just want to honour you for everything you've done over the last few weeks during this
thank
time.
You. But listen, thank you, because I tune in most mornings and I might be working away at my computer, but I just love it. It's a sense of community, and I hope people really value what you're doing here because it's fantastic.
Oh, Naomi, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Lovely. Well, we're going to wrap things up in just a minute. So, Naomi, I'm going to invite you to pray for us just in a minute or so.
Sure.
But come back and join us tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Thursday, the 14th of May. It'll be great to have you with us. If you want to listen back to any of our previous episodes, you can do that on iTunes and Spotify. Again, hi to everybody who's listening later in the day. It's great to have you.
Yeah.
Please send us through your stories and your comments and your feedback and your ideas for what things might look like for this after the next 2 weeks. Just thank you again, all of you, for being with us today and being with us for majority of this time. It's great to have you. And also, if you want to be part of the thing on Friday where we get you on for a little bit, you share what you like about what you've learned, send us an email to stories@Bethlehem as well. I'd love to connect with you and get you on for that.
Brilliant.
But Naomi, I'll pass things over to you if you could pray for us, and then we'll close things out for the day.
Okay, let's pray. Father, thank you that through Jesus, you've already made us worthy. Help us just to rest in that as we head into more uncertain times. Help us to really be able to relax in your love, in your strength, and in your peace. Bless us all. Help us through each challenge that comes each day, knowing that you journey with us in that for your glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you again, everyone, and we will see you back here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow. See you, everyone.